onto the grid, making a good start with the BMW, but there comes Mr. Askew through on the inside. Skogstad obligingly staying wide, a little bit of door handling going on as they come in. Skogan there trying to take third place, but a good manoeuvre there from Raskew, John.
Yeah, he certainly smoked his tyres off the line, which normally would mean you're not going anywhere, but he got away with it, and he obviously had the position on the grid. But it'd be very interesting to see Bjorn. He'll sit behind him because, again, he's had a couple of good runs. He knows he's towards the front of the final, so he'll sit there very, very patiently, and he'll use it as an exercise to see how it is to overtake on this track in case he needs it in the final. He's very, very slow in, and Bjorn's up the inside, just going to sneak through, little lean, but didn't quite make it.
No, the flag was there just too soon, and Raskew takes a good victory there. All credit to him, credit where credit's due. We've been a bit critical about him in the past about his driving, but credit where it's due, and it was due there, I think. Meantime, we've got Ludwig Hunsbeck coming away on the left of your picture with the Statoil BMW, but again it's the Sierra Cosworth coming away off the start line to dominate this one, and this is Jörnberg, Michael Jörnberg from Sweden on his home soil, coming away, looking quite impressive here this afternoon. And it looks like Boland there in third place, Christer Boland. Ludwig's slotting in between. BMW, obviously, John, the BMW hasn't got the power of the Cosworth, has it?
No, it hasn't got the power of the Cosworth. They've obviously improved over the years, but surprisingly, with the throttle response, you would have thought that this has always got a lot of grip on the tarmac there. He lost out, obviously lost a place, but that was a good example of just going in, feeling too confident with the grip that's there, and then the moment you've made the turn on the loose, the car just totally changes its direction, and you have to then just do everything to keep the race going. And every time you do that in Sweden, you know someone's on your inside.
Yeah, well, it was a good victory there for Jörnberg, and it's looking rather good for Michael here at the moment. Sierra making a very slow start as the Holden Commodore comes away to dispute the lead with Steiner Uranli. Uranli trying on the inside of Jacques Franzen, but the Belgian driver having none of it. And Steiner Uranli slots into second place. It looks a wee bit like I was going to say he was in third place. That might be the Hungarian. Laszlo Marusi may be in third place. I think it is. Meantime, the little cadet coming up to have a look for the lead, but he's on the outside going into that left-hander. And once again, the big Australian car has the advantage. And Jacques Franzen coming away. Oh, bags of understeer there, and this is Uranli through on the inside. Uranli doesn't need two opportunities like that, and he goes through. Well clear now, Steiner Uranli. He made noises earlier this year, John, that he'd like to go into Division 2 with a Vauxhall Calibra. Any comments on that?
Well, obviously so, but to build these supercars that you need to be competitive, they take a full year, and the problem with the Calibra is that at the present time you have to start taking out the transverse gearbox, and probably
between, shall we say, like the one we're coming up now. Are your tyres going to be an advantage or a disadvantage if you don't change them?
Well, it can be either way depending on the temperature of the day. Here it's obviously got hotter during the day. The competitors in the paddock, they will either use tyre warmers to maintain the temperature of the rubber, or a lot of the other competitors use tyre rollers, which also has the advantage of warming the transmission. It's a balance, and I think you'll find that in the two-wheel drive cars, if they go forward from the C to the B, they will certainly change the tyre, because you would have the advantage off the line, but probably on about the 6th lap the tyres start to go off. You never get more than 10 laps out of a set, especially on a hot circuit, slippery wheel spin, and I think you'd find that to be safe they change. It's all relevant to how much time they've got, actually.
Yeah, okay, so, and of course that also depends on how slick the organisation is, and the organisation here in Sweden looks pretty good to us, and as we go in we can see that it is still 1-1-2. Sven Nilsson, the young man from Kristiansand, in his second season of European rallycross, going through there with the BMW, very likeable young man indeed, and I think perhaps a star of the future, Sven Nilsson. Sven coming away then with the BMW M3, a car not quite with the power of the Bengt Ekström or Ludwig Lundberg examples, but certainly a car that young Sven is driving pretty good here at the moment. Sven Nilsson it is then. And it looks as though he's heading for a pretty comfortable victory here. Pick up who is in second place. That's Lasse Eriksson from Sweden in second place, and Laszlo Marusi, the Hungarian, coming up strongly. There we can see Risto Auricula going through with his Golf. Red car, red Golf, just the 4 cars. Roger Eriksson in the Saab. a bit of a blast from the past, the Saab, and that's of course is a very similar car to the one that the aforementioned Anders Nordstedt was dominant in the European Rallycross just a few years ago. Shows how very much quicker the cars have got over the years. And once again, of course, the winner of this, Nielsen, will be going forward into the B final, and there he is, takes the checkered flag. Sven Nielsen wins that one. He goes into the B final, an opportunity to progress to the all-important day. Will he do it? We shall see. We'll be back with you very shortly after the break. In the meantime, there is confirmation of the results of we're turning it round a little bit this week. We're going to give you the B final of Division 1, and of course we're concentrating on the Division 2 cars before the Division 1 cars in these finals. That's a little bit of a change, makes a change, doesn't it? I must say it's good to have John here with me in the commentary point, bringing a lot of technical information into this meeting, and I'm sure giving a lot of you good folks out there in television land an insight into this sport. 103 going through. That is Steiny Ranley, Skogan just behind him. There was the B final winner. We saw Sven Nielsen. Back to Ekstrom it is. Bank 2 was the top BMW driver in Finland, but already we can tell you Ludwig Hunsberg is straight into the A final. So Bank Ekstrom's got to win this if he's going to go through with him. But there we've got Gunnar Kittelsen out in the front at the moment. Gunnar Kittelsen from the Stadol BMW of Ludwig Hunsberg. They two beginning to get away a bit from Uranli. Steiny Uranli there with that incredible 2-litre Kadett. Behind him is the Swede Ludwig Hunsberg with the BMW. But it's the highly experienced Gunnar Kittelsen keeping it neat and tidy up front, and Hunsberg has really got to get himself off the racing line here, I think, in an attempt to find a way through. In the meantime, that Kadett is getting closer and closer and closer. Uranli is coming in to have a look as well. This is getting really good stuff, but it is still Gunnar Kittelsen leading it, and Gunnar going a bit wide there, and this is where the BMW might come through on the inside. Yes, he does. Ludwig Hunsberg through on the inside. Gunnar goes down to second. Uranli having a look for that position now. Has he got him? Can't see for the moment, but meantime we're with Ludwig Hunsberg, and Ludwig coming away then, having got past, beginning to open up quite a useful gap now to come away and look to dominate this one. And I think we can see Uranli is now into second place. I think maybe that Gunnar Kittelsen has got a problem and he's dropping right back out of contention. There's no doubt about it. It is going to be Ludwig Hunsberg who is well in command of this one now. And Ludwig it is.
What he'll be doing now, Arthur, he'll be just conserving his car, because he knows that he's won the race. He'll be watching the temperatures, trying to get the tyres under control so they'll be their optimum for the next heat.
Yep, there we are. Ludwig, who hadn't made it straight through to the A final, had he? He had to win that one, of course, to get there.
Then we'll try very hard. He'll obviously he has some very quick people coming in the car for France and Ireland, and he'll be doing everything within his grasp to make Will lose one first place. I don't know the total technicalities, but Martin wants Will to lose one first place, and then they'll both end up with an equal number of wins.
Well, this certainly is being a very, very entertaining European Championship season. We've seen the problems with Austria and then of course in Finland, but we've also seen some brilliant rallycross, particularly in this Division 1 category, and we're watching this final now from the Bjorn Skogstad car. Skoggy just signalling to somebody behind, if you want to come by, I think you better come by that side, and that wash wipe system still causing him a little bit of a problem there. But up front it is Michael Jernberg. Now Michael, there is nothing sweeter, John, than a victory on home territory, is there? Particularly when it's your first ever victory.
Oh, it gets the best out of you. He will be so concentrated. They won't catch him now because he's not going to make a mistake. Bjorn's got a handful with the green car, and he knows as long as Bjorn keeps his line, Kenneth won't push him out. Kenneth, I think in all the years we've watched him, he's obviously changed wings in little incidents like this, but very, very clean, and Bjorn even had time to wave to him to kind of say, if you want to go past, mate, that's where you're going to have to go. He's just corrected him there, you see.
Right, yes, good camaraderie here between these drivers. That indeed is good to see, and as I said, this really has given us some marvellous rallycross so far this year, the Division 1 category, and it looks as though we may be heading for our fifth winner in as many rounds. Remember, it was Skogstad at Litten. Then down in Austria it was Gerhard Buffler, it was even Opland in Portugal, and then just a week ago it was Kenny Hansen in Finland. Kenny is down there in third place only at the moment. Not the best result for him, and one I'm sure he would have liked to have got a better one here on home territory, but marvellous, as we can see a bit of bodywork trailing there from Rasku's car. Marvellous drive here for this young man, Michael Jernberg. He really has got his dander up now, and he's getting away from Skogstad, and Skogstad, I think, happy to concentrate on that second place. We can see Hunsberg putting a lot of pressure now onto Jussi Rasku, who's got that almost regular dent in the door from part of the action here this afternoon. and as he goes away, so Skogstad having to concentrate, John, a little bit more on the car behind rather than the one on front, I assume.
Yes, he won't want to lose points because they're very close at the top of the table, and Bjorn would have realised he can't catch the chap in front, so he's now concentrating totally on Kenneth. Kenneth has to go around the outside, which is just impossible on this track. As Kenneth obviously tried to go offline and turn tighter there, you see the grip of the tarmac come in and it virtually stalls the car. The boost goes off and boom, Bjorn's gone. And that probably was one of the only times that Kenneth would get close to have a go at overtaking. But the problem with these Scandinavian tracks, as the cars have got faster over the years, it is virtually impossible to overtake cleanly unless the driver in front makes a mistake. And the quality of these European drivers now, they very rarely make a mistake when they're in front.
Certainly no mistakes coming here from Michael Jernberg, and he looks set fair then to take his first ever victory in the European Rallycross Championship, and he's going to do it here on his home country's circuit in Sweden. A little bit of a bump in the track there where the loose and the tarmac sections meet, but there it is. Michael Jernberg wins here in Sweden, his first ever victory in European Rallycross, and Bjorn Skogstad is second, Kenny Hansen is third, Rasku there in fourth, Ludwig Hunspett, the top BMW driver, the only BMW in that Sierra-dominated event, with Christa Bowling completing the top six. Well, the next round of the championship is in France at the Bergerac circuit. Meantime, we can see Kenny Hansen walking over to congratulate Bjorn Skogstad, and there's Michael Jernberg in the white overalls. Behind him in the blue overalls we can see Ludwig Hunspett, and a good sport